show us. Show us, not tell us. Show us. And that's what this show did. It Hey y'all, I have returned. Thank you. It is I, Jerry Javante, the YouTuber formerly known as the Cosmic Cajun, now back as the Hollywood Hero. Same old goodness, just a new name. Today we are here to talk about the one, the only, X-Men 97 Season 1, y'all. Y'all see I have on my good old nasty Storm shirt. I got it from my good friend over at Big Comic Threads. I'll link it down below if you're interested. He has a myriad of other designs. They're really cool. Just check it out. So we can go into this uninterrupted. Please make sure to follow all my socials, link down below. You know, all the YouTube, the TikTok while it's still here. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment. You know, all the YouTube stuff. Y'all not new to this. We're all true to this. So let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about the Mutant, the Marvelous, and the Murky. About X-Men 97. So first start off, oh my gosh, I've never seen a better adaptation of the X-Men lore as a whole. And you know, as just in X-Men Truther, it's so refreshing to see. Everybody just try to do their own takes, and the takes just are not it. It really, it's so bothersome. So let's start off with the good. Overall, this is just a great damn adaptation of the X-Men as a whole. Everybody, and this is my, this is my problem on the whole when it comes to superhero adaptations. Everybody wants to do this hyper realism and, ooh, my new take, except they're going to be, you know, we're going to take the X-Men and instead of making them, you know, genetic offshoots of humans and like this whimsical, fantastic thing, we're going to make them government agents and they just so happen to be test tube babies. And it's just like, oh my gosh, can we just get what we came here for? I asked for chicken nuggets. Why are you giving me chicken cordon bleu with no cheese and no ham? You know, the main selling point of this show was quite honestly nostalgia. Yes, everybody loves X-Men, but we could have adapted any version of the X-Men. We could have had an entirely new X-Men cartoon. But the selling point for this show was nostalgia. However, the entire substance of the show was its own thing, and I really appreciate that, because some people will, I ain't gonna say no names because it's a lot that can be said, but some people will just take an intellectual property, slap the name on it, and just give you whatever. And I think that's what we've been getting a lot of in the TV and film industry, and that's why people are not tuning in. But from the tweets, from the ratings, from everything, quite honestly, the people are tuning into X-Men 97 not because it is a nostalgia cash grab, but because it is quality products and quality stories that people are engaged in and want to tune into week after week. You know what I'm saying? Lastly, and this is very petty of me, but I'm so glad that Wolverine is to the doggone bad. For 20 years, mind you, I've been reading X-Men comics since I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. And Wolverine, while he is a big player in the comics, that only happened after, you know, they started making all the X-Men movies. Wolverine do not be around them people like that. He loves them, but Wolverine is, no shade, a wild animal and a lone wolf. He don't do all that, you know, this is not X-Men's best friend race, you know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that when it comes to characterization. And also, I'm just tired of Logan. I think we all tired of Logan. Like, he done had 15 million movies, 15 million adaptions. I can guarantee you right now, his comic story is probably at issue 50, while the rest of the X-Men are literally, who knows where. Who knows where. It's just too much. Back up. I'm glad y'all took the hint. Thank you so much. Next, we're gonna go to the Marvelous, which is just the even better aspects of the story that I enjoy more than what I was mentioning before. No shade intended when I say this next point, but I think the MCU can learn a lot from this adaptation. The subtle world building that is it's in your face, but it's not beating you over the head. I love that every episode I am rewatching 2 and 3 times because I'm like, ooh, there's a cameo. Ooh, this person exists in the universe.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
It doesn't take an entire movie and a post-credit scene to establish that, yes, this person does live in the universe. It's just, show us, not tell us, show us. And that's what this show did. What frustrates me is it's so simple. To quote Lauryn Hill, it could all be so simple, but y'all rather make it hard. What's so hard to just build the world? We know the Avengers are not the only people that protect the universe, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are not the only people in space. Like, just show us that Marvel is in the MCU. Please and thank you. Because I am a messy bitch that lives for drama, I love that they integrated the fact that the X-Men are also messy bitches that live for drama. The X-Men are not just these straight-laced mutants who put on a suit, go out and fight crime, and that's it. The focal point of most X-Men comics is the fact that they all doing, stuff. I love that it got to the nitty-gritty of like, yeah, we're messy, we have problems, we're mutants, yeah, we gonna be sinister ass today, but tomorrow we're gonna talk about how you just cheated on me with my clone and also just gave her a baby. And that's just the type of stuff that I live for, you know what I'm saying? And I love that the writers and the creators took the time and the effort to incorporate that. And it was a moment most pleasing to me.
Love that kind of stuff.
I also think X-Men 97 did a really, really superb job when it came to giving you life lessons through the story rather than telling you and just bashing you over the head with it. And it's like, I think they got it. Especially the episode when Jubilee and Roberto go into the Mojo world, and it's about, like, you have to grow up and really embrace who you are. You can't just stay stuck in the past, and I really think it works on a lot of fronts, specifically because, like I said, this show was mainly promoted on nostalgia, and having that be the lesson in like the 3rd episode is really the creator's way of taking a stand and saying, this is its own thing. It is a continuation, but it is its own thing. We have grown along with the same people who watched the original cartoon, and it's lovely to see. Another episode of note is Life Death Parts 1 and 2. The messages that it gave you about self-limiting belief and allowing your mind to be your best friend or your worst enemy. I love it. That's the good food. That's the good food that we come in and paying $20 a plate for. Not this other stuff that I'm not gonna even get into the other girls because they're non-factor, okay? I think the allegory of mutants being oppressed people is so timely, especially for the times that we're living in right now, this day and age, 2024, the year of our Lord. I really could not help but get that. And I know the creators probably did not peer into the future. I mean, maybe so, the people is on the teams, but I know they probably didn't peer into the future and see what exact social and ecological and economic issues were going to be going on at the time that this would be airing, but it's real eerie, and I personally do not believe in a coinkydink. So yeah, it's telling us something. And the whole thing of humans saying, oh, well, the mutant problem ain't got nothing to do with me. And then I'm turning right around and being like, who you thought you was? My last and probably absolute favorite thing about X-Men 97 is that when it swings for these big leaps and these big dramatic highs and these huge lows, it works. It's a home run every time. Specifically, Gambit dying, like the whole Genosha scene, and Madeline Pryor, I'm sorry, she's just that girl, these motherfuckers ain't stopping her, okay? When it comes to tonal directions that they wanted to take, specifically the Goblin Queen episode or Tolerance's Extinction, when they tried to do all the horror stuff, all of the visuals, the sound design, all of it just worked so well, and what they were trying to portray through the screen, it came across, and it came across really, really well. And I hope and I pray that everyone, specifically the higher-ups who, you know, are writing the checks and greening the lights, take the right message from the success of X-Men 97. It's not that people want to see every 90s, 80s, and 70s property revitalized and rebooted, but that we can use different means and mediums. We go into math now, okay? Do you hear me? We can use different means and mediums to tell stories. Animation is not just this kiddie playtime thing. The things that are being shown in the stories that are being told through animation, with shows like Invincible, Adventure Time, and now X-Men 97, they are valid stories and stories that people are obviously interested in. So just give a little credence and a little more respect to it, and allow audiences to enjoy things before you make the decision to not even give it to them, if that makes sense. Now that we have gotten through all the good and the great, the goop and the gag, now it's time for the less than savory bits. And I don't have too much to say, because 89% of this show I loved. It's just that little 11% is like, it's bothering me a lot. So I will say my first point that I really didn't like or really didn't care for, I kind of touched upon it in the good section, but the pacing was just a little rushed. I can say that I'm glad that they simplified certain storylines, like Eve's for Extinction, or, you know, the beginning of the Onslaught storyline, or especially the Goblin Queen thing, but it could have been fleshed out more. The Goblin Queen thing could have been a two-parter. It didn't have to be 3 parts, but 2 parts could have been enough. Or Life Death, instead of being 2 half episodes, it should have either been its own whole episode or a 2-parter as well with its own 2 episodes. I just feel like in trying to fit a lot in, which I think they did mostly successfully, they kind of rushed a lot of things as well in order to make sure everything had space to put in there. One moment that really stuck out to me when it came to this, and I could not help but roll my eyes during the finale, but when Jean literally just turned into the Phoenix out of nowhere, and her explanation was something along the lines of, oh, I'm not the Phoenix anymore, but I felt her for 2 seconds, so I was able to bring it back. And it's like, what? And where did this come from? Like, this was not hinted at throughout the season at all. And I'm like, I understand we have to get from point A to point B, but can we get to A.5, or can you show us B.2 before we, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like they tried to build the Lego house and they just missed a couple of bricks. Just a couple. Like the structural integrity, it ain't gonna fall over, but it's leaning a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a safe lean. Like it'll be good in a storm, but it's leaning. So that's one thing that really kind of perturbed me. Secondly, my black characters. Oh, look how they massacred my Negroes. When it comes to Bishop, where was he? I'm playing Where's Waldo, and he not even on the page. I'm so sorry. The X-Men is probably 85% less oily because Bishop's Jerry curl is not in the picture. I don't understand. I know he had to take Baby Nathan to the future, but it's like, do we not have time for a piece of an update? And then everybody just telling us he's lost in the time stream. How am I supposed to know that? Like I said, can we see 8.5 like before we get to B? I just, you know, I need to see these things instead of being told. But you showed us a lot of other things, which I'm kind of looking sideways. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, when it comes to my black characters, why was Aurora Monroe the Storm, the alien superstar, on the sick and shut in list every week. At the end of every episode, I'm literally going in my prayer closet and saying, Lord, please let Storm survive. No shade, they was giving my girl Storm Mark Grayson's treatment, like every single episode. She was getting her ass turned every which way but loose. And I'm just like, can y'all stop? Oh my gosh. The second episode of the show, she literally gets depowered, saving the X-Men's formerly greatest worst enemy while he was on trial for, I don't know if I can say that with YouTube rules, so I'm trying to protect my account, baby. And then she is absolutely mentally tormented by this big ass owl, like, okay. And then she gets her powers back in this magical girl transformation sequence. Lovely, absolutely lovely. At the tail end of her half episode, right. Not even trying to be like that, but come on, y'all. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm a person that can walk and quack. It's a duck. Then, when she gets her powers back and the whole team reunites, she has her little moment and she's immediately thrown into the sea, almost never to be seen again. When I see things like this repeatedly in these specifically superhero shows, it just sends a really glaring message. And it's like, you want to enjoy it, but man, it definitely hampers the experience just a little bit. And I ain't got no time. Lastly, I would label this under the black character problem, but he's not black, so. I'm sorry. Roberto DaCosta, oh my gosh. Not only did y'all butcher him as a character with his origins, with his appearance, with mostly everything about him, y'all didn't make him black. And when it comes to black characters, specifically Roberto, it's just stuff that you have to keep consistent across all adaptations. When it comes to Roberto, his powers literally were activated because he was targeted for the color of his skin, for being black. And you have completely erased that. You show no evidence of him even being possibly Afro-Latino. You know, it's just really... And then, y'all just made him a wet blanket. Y'all gave him maybe 2 things to do. And then when he joined Magneto, I'm like, does anybody else want to step up? Because where is Homegirl been to be talking about, yeah, I'm an acolyte now too? Girl, who are you? Did Magneto even know who he was? Like, no shade. He probably literally was like, and son, do I know you? When they was heading back to Asteroid M. Like, I'm not keeping it a bean. What did he do? Him and Bishop might as well be in the Black Losers Club, but I mean, Roberto can't answer because, again. Lastly, how can I forget the most glaring instance? I could forgive everything. But y'all made Emma Frost not have a British accent. Lord, it's just bloody blasphemous to the gospel of Emma Frost. How do you not give her a British accent? And yes, I know she's not actually British, but it's part of her charm, darling. And, you know, you make her American. Yes, she's still sickening. She still has a diamond form, you know, diamonds on her necklace, diamonds on her records. You're just a hot mess. My God. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. That being said, that is my thoughts on X-Men 97. Truly a great season of television. I know there's been some behind the scenes shakeups. I really hope that does not affect the final product that we end up getting, because this was really good, aside from, you know, the things that I brought up. But that's just my opinion, and I'd like to hear yours down below, okay? So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and catch me next time on the Hollywood Hero. Thank y'all. Bye.